Alright, hi everyone. This is the whiteboard review for the first day for Introduction to Programming. Okay. I'm Mike Dirksen, the instructor, and this was Tuesday, so this was day 1 for the class. Alright, we login information for PC 229. Okay. This class was earlier in the morning. So let's take a look at what we talked about the first day, besides just a little background course. I'm overemphasizing the term logic here. Because that'll be the most advantageous thing you'll take out of the course, even though you think it might be the idea that we're going to program in Python, which is extremely popular, or learning the code in any language is an advantage, but understanding how to put that together is important, and we'll emphasize that point as we move forward. A little bit of tech background, okay, and so we talked a little bit about code, and we talked about software engineering. The concept here, software engineers know how to code, okay, but they also know how to design, and they also know how to approach solving a problem. Big step above just being a good coder. But to get there, and you could be considered a software engineer without necessarily having a 4-year degree. Now, that would maybe be a little unusual, but possible. So we took a look at hardware. What communicates with the hardware? The OS. The operating system communicates with the hardware. An application communicates with the operating system, and a user communicates with an application. User interface. Anybody remember? We talked about user experience. What really does those? Yeah, the hardware has a little bit to do with that. The operating system a little more, and the application more yet, on what kind of experience a user has when they're using a device. Alright, next thing. Data. Data are raw facts, for example your birth date, and we can use software to turn that into information, your age. We also talked about the college keeps track of how many credits you've taken and how many quality points you've earned for the credits. So if you got an A for a, here, let me back that up. So if you took a 3-credit course and got an A, you'd get 12 quality points, which gives you, at that point, a 4.0. So if we add up all the credits you've taken and all the quality points you earned, like if you take a 3-credit course and get a B, okay, that'd be 9 quality points, or whatever, you might figure that out. So that's data. Information would be the GPA. Okay. I'm going to review the points over here. In coding, humans develop source code. And then you use a compiler based on an operating system. So the operating system, the application has to talk to the operating system, so the application has to be compiled. We write the application, initially source code, in some language. Talk more about that in a minute. Then it needs to be compiled into an object code, and the object code is linked, right? Bring some things in from the library and have executable that we can run on the machine. Okay? Let's talk about that some more. Look at it. We have the language. We're going to be using Python, and as an example, we used bash script. Bash script stays as a source code. Okay? And then you use an interpreter. When you bring it into memory, like you type the name of the bash script and you're going to execute it, brings it into memory, and then an interpreter looks at all the lines, make sure there's no syntax error, and then it starts executing it. So it interprets it, and it's kind of like going, when it checks it, it does this, and then it executes it. Yeah, we'll review that a couple times over the next couple weeks. All right? So when we do Python, we're going to use it like a script and use an interpreter rather than compile it over and over and over. Okay? In terms of learning. All right, so here's what I was talking about before. Let me see if I can draw this out. Let me, okay. Let's say this is memory. This is your hard drive. And over here we have a processor. Okay? So, we have code. So let's just say we have the code stored here on the hard drive. And let's say it's a script. Say it's a script. So we take that script, we type the name, and an interpreter takes it in and now makes it executable code. If it needs to bring anything in from the library, makes it executable code, and then it starts executing line by line while it's in memory. So it takes this piece of code. Let's see if I can make this look right. Do it over the processor. The processor processes that code, sends anything back it needs, and if the code's in sequence, it does the next instruction, brings that in, processes that, sends back what it needs, okay? And the operating system, as a side note, is managing where everything is here and how it gets here to here and how it got from here to here. The operating system, which is already in memory, the kernel and functioning. We go through that again on the second day. So, that's it for the first day. Signing out.